All right, guys. So, welcome to day two of the customer attraction code. Is anyone interested in sharing anything, pardon me, from yesterday? Did you do a post? Did you write down your power thought? Did you do work? Did you do some stuff? Anybody want to share? It's a safe place. There are five of us here.
I didn't do a post yesterday, but I got into the workbook and was really thinking about what you're talking about as far as like the waitress goes, the waitress effect of anticipating needs and thinking about that. So as you and I have been talking like about coming full circle into back into what I want to do, I was thinking about like even what Lauren said in the chat the other day. People win the lottery and then they're like, "Oh, I don't know what to do," and they lose it all. So I was thinking about um, helping more families and serving more families with financial knowledge, but at the same time, oh my goodness, at the same time, like serving the mom, teaching the mom how to teach the kids to break the generational and traditional way of thinking. Because I'm like, my dad taught me how to balance a checkbook at 15, and now he's like 66 and not really going to be able to retire yet, you know? So I was like, how do I teach this to the kids this young? And then if we make it simple and anticipate that, then they can teach their kids while they're learning too.
Yeah, I love that so much for you. I love that so much for you. Anelda, you were unmuted for a minute. Do you want to share?
Hi guys.
Hi.
I just did an anonymous post with a little yellow flower, and I took some words out of your post out of school yesterday from after $25 to $30,000. And yeah, I didn't get many interaction, but I got some good views.
Good. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for sharing. One thing to piggyback off of what Shanessa said, and as a mom, recognizing my kids are very involved in the business aspect. So it's not like mommy's working, but then they're rewarded for allowing me to help other moms make money. Or, my kids know most of you. I'm on the phone with, Lisa, I'm on the phone with Shanessa. So they make a connection that mom's got friends. And if I let mom talk to her friends, then we get, Halloween decorations or whatever. And I've been doing the same thing with the girls' income because they'll get paid for doing a project or work, but we're creating a budget so that can we do it if it's in the budget? And teaching them like your cell phone is first. If you want your cell phone, you have to contribute to paying your cell phone bill. And even my daughter broke it down like, okay, when I do the dishes, I want this amount of money. When I do the trash, I want this amount of money. And because she doesn't have awareness, they're like, I want $2 for doing the dishes. I'm like, you got it. 100% I'll give you $2. Like, it's not just one $20 at the end of the week, it's per item. And then, okay, your cell phone bill is the first bill, right? And really, I don't even want to teach them it's a bill because you're paying for the opportunity to have a phone, have apps, play games, right? Even just changing the language of you get to do these things, but you earned it first. And then bigger things like, oh, they want to go to like Orlando or that other park, Universal Studios. Okay, great. Let's see how much it costs. Let's see how many months it's going to take for us to save. Let's see how much money we can save. Like, we actually build out a visual plan so they can connect the dots. And it's not just a dream that might happen when mom gets her taxes. It's like, no, this is happening, but we build it backwards. Hi, baby girl. So anything that we do with dreams, they all can come true, but not by hoping and wishing. It's by how much is it going to cost, and what's it going to take, and what's the work am I going to do, and what does that look like? So I love that. I'm doing the same thing, Shanessa, so that's great. We can we can brainstorm on that. All right, guys, so I'm going to share my screen. We're going to start with day 2 of the book, and then we'll go through the thing that I built for you guys. Did I hit record on this? I did. All right. So we went through day 1. You guys, I really want to encourage you to like embody this work. Like really focus in. This book lays it out. It gives you a power thought. It gives you actual steps to do, and you're going to get this training as part of it. It's going to allow you to not have to worry about what do I post and what do I say, because we're just going back to like being real people with dreams, and then taking the time to listen to other people's dreams and showing them they can do it too. So we're just getting back into our feelings, out of our heads and into our hearts. It's really what we're doing. So today's lesson is the connection code, turning followers into friends. When I first started showing up online, I thought success meant going viral. I believed that the goal was to have thousands of followers and perfect videos. Behind the highlight reels and hashtags, I felt disconnected, like I was performing instead of relating. And that's when something shifted. I stopped trying to impress and started to express. I began posting from my heart instead of my hustle, sharing what I was learning and what I was struggling with and what I cared about. And guys, this book is literally the last 6 weeks of my life, not 10 years. And you know what happened? I didn't gain customers. I'm not rich overnight. Oh my gosh. But I gained friends, some who are now my closest confidants, right? So this part's kind of the last 10 years. Women I've cried with, I've traveled with, I've laughed with until midnight, all started with a single post. We met through comments, DMs, and conversations that were never about business first. It was always about being seen. Then I realized that connection is the currency of the online world. When you lead with connection, the sale and the team and the growth, it all flows naturally. So the lesson is people right now are craving connection more than content. They don't want to feel sold to, and they want to feel understood. They don't need a massive audience. They need meaningful relationships. Every like is a person. Every comment is a heartbeat. When you start treating your audience like friends instead of followers, they start treating your offer like an opportunity and not a transaction. Connection builds community, and community builds consistency. So your action step is to create 3 connection moments. You're going to leave a thoughtful comment on 5 people's posts who inspire you, not to be noticed, but to be real. You're going to put eyes on them. You're going to share a story or video about why you started your journey. Be vulnerable and human. End your post with an open-ended question like, what season of life are you in right now? Or what's something you've learned lately that changed how you see success? So your quick win is within 24 hours, you're going to feel lighter, because the connection isn't just good for business. It's medicine for your soul. You'll start to notice the right people noticing you. The inner shift: who could I be online if I stopped trying to impress and started letting people in? And then your power thought: every time I connect with love, my business expands with ease. So let's dive into the lesson of the code today. So the connection code is really turning followers into friends and strangers into supporters. Both of these ladies I met online first and then met them in person. So when I first started showing up online, I thought that success meant ongoing sales, speaking on stages, and then I would be valuable. I hustled and hustled and hustled and hustled to prove my worth. But behind it all, I felt extremely disconnected, extremely sad and alone, and like I was performing instead of actually relating to people. The shift came when I stopped trying to impress and started to express. So you guys are going to notice the date, October 9th, October 8th. This is from this month only. These are the ones that I've got, just me, right? You are the perfect package. Don't stay at the wrong address, right? Me and my son, over 400 likes, 310 comments. Starbies with my girl, 430 freaking comments, 679 likes. School at home, my business grew while I walked this month. Whatever, we're playing Skippo. Like I'm teaching her games, right? 396 comments, 625 likes. This one, I'm literally walking to the tire store because I just blew out my tire. I don't know what the top sentence says, but it says I can take trips, afford groceries and activities. It's not for everyone. If you're a good person and like to spend money, it might be for you. And I haven't even addressed that. That's actually what I'm doing, is addressing these posts today. So you're talking October 9th and 6 days ago, October 8th, right? So just we'll just say few days, like these are probably all within 1 week. And there's over 1,000 people that I can take the time to go have a meaningful conversation with and get 5 customers. Not because it's about me getting 5 customers. You guys will see my vulnerable post today. I have a lot of friends in the MLM space. I have a lot of leaders I respect in the MLM space. I get recruited daily and weekly from top leaders in the MLM space. And it wasn't until today when I heard a message that I don't want to hurt other people's feelings, but I did a vulnerable post that MLM hurts a lot of people. And I can feel that I was resisting saying that because I respect people who made it work. But for those of us who it didn't quite work, or we were manipulated or put into a position where in 3 minutes you can have all the money, it just does not work like that. And with social media and hype marketing and all the things, a lot of people are getting further into debt, or further marriages struggling, right? Like kids feeling isolated because mom's on the Zoom, mom's busy, mom's doing this, mom's doing that, and no judgment. But I just am coming to my own come to Jesus conversation with, you know what, I do believe, I understand business. So it's not that the model is wrong, it's that the system is not set up for the little guy to win. And I felt like if I was honest about that, I was going to hurt people that I loved. But today I decided to give myself permission to be honest. So when I do this, when I show up in a way and connect, I don't just gain customers, I gain friends. This is Jody. I flew to California to meet him before he bought Legacy because he wasn't comfortable giving me $900. So I flew to meet him in person. I'm in California. He picked me up. He's a limo driver. Never met him at all, except online. I flew to California. I literally met him for 1 day and turned around and flew right back home. This is my birthday party that my team threw me at our last company. These are my best friends in this room because we were building a business with our friends. And Chris comes to Arizona and we spend time together and we hang out, we do a little business, and we do a little fun, because when you meet people and bring them into your world, then you have connection. I don't build businesses online. I meet people online and then I get in a position to meet them as fast as possible, whether it's a Zoom call or if they live in Arizona, I meet them for coffee. I create a personal experience for them as quickly as possible. So people crave connection more than content. They want to feel seen, heard, and understood. Every like, is a person, and every comment is a heartbeat. There's someone else, a true person that's probably got a struggle behind their highlight reel, but they're showing up to support you, to comment, to love. And we just don't want to take that for granted, because when you treat your followers like their friends or family, or whatever word has a meaningful word for you, then they will treat the offer like opportunities. So connection plus community plus consistency, right? That's the name of the game. So today you're going to create 3 connection moments, okay? You're going to leave a thoughtful comment on 5 people's posts. I would say that you should not know these 5 people. They should not be a friend. They should not be a family. It should be a stranger that is winning, right? Just a stranger that said something that you like and you relate with, and you're going to leave a relatable voice or a relatable comment on their thread. Not because you're trying to bait them, but because you're genuinely kind and genuinely happy and genuinely proud to virtually be in that person's world. You're going to share a story about why you started your journey, not what you think people want to hear. Be vulnerable, be yourself, and be a human. End your post with a question. What season of life are you in right now? Or what's something you've learned lately that changed how you see success? Within 24 hours, you're going to start feeling lighter, because connection isn't just good for business, it's medicine for your soul. And you're going to start to notice the right people are going to notice you. So your inner shift. Who could you be online? Who could I be online if I stopped trying to impress and started letting people in? What if you let people feel your heart? What if you let people feel those emotions, right? What if we got more into our feelings and less into our overthinking, freaking doom scrolling? So your power thought. Every time I connect with love, my business expands with ease. That's your affirmation to write down. So you're going to share your connection code post inside of our community, and then tell us one moment this week that made you feel seen. And then your call to action. Remember, you are shifting your needs to theirs, to hers. If you're a girl, if you're attracted, I know Mark's on here, right? A dad, right? A dad and a husband. You're not a marketer. You are a woman to woman, mom to mom, wife to wife. And then you're going to download the book. Hopefully everyone has access to it. I did check this morning and the emails are being fired off. You could have missed it. So, and once you are in the, Lauren's not here, but I think it's the one that says live. Anyway, we'll make sure that you have the book. The replays are being put in there. And a few documents that I'm giving you guys to help you get out of your head and into the pain. What do they need from you? And I'll tell you, it's not information. It's not information. So you're going to post your waitress effect story, if you didn't already, inside of the Freedom Builder Collective. And we're going to celebrate your connection and your conversation together. So let me stop sharing that. Brooke, we literally just finished up, but the replay will be available for you. So you can go back through this. Yesterday's replay is also available for you. How does this land with you? Is this different than anything? I know I've never taught this. Never taught it this way.
I don't know if my post this morning is so much vulnerable as like I said, my social media has been pretty much dormant for the last 6 weeks. Um, so I kind of, with the pivot into what I'm doing now, I did a post sharing like the first thing that brought this into my awareness, that brought you into my awareness, that brought this system into my awareness, and gave me a shift in like how I was kind of surviving, thinking I had more time to figure it out, and just, doing massage therapy. I don't have a plan. I don't have a plan. I have more time to figure out a plan.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the post this morning, but I don't think the ending, like the call to action, I didn't put one in only because I'm still trying to wake the social media up again.
Yeah.
So, but I would say it's at least the storytelling part.
Okay.
I
Can
don't
I
know.
offer just a little slight feedback?
Yeah.
I want all of you to unlearn everything I've taught you over the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, or a course or anything. Here is why. Here is why. Shanessa made a comment that said, I need to wake my social media up. The reason that's not true is because Shanessa's awake. She's going to attract a whole new person, we're not going behind and dragging anyone with us. We are telling everyone what we're doing, where we are, how we feel, and where we're going. But that shit back there is gone. And one thing I recognize when I have so many conversations with everyone who just, Jen, I know. And I'm like, but you don't know because you're not making any money. So let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be honest with each other. You don't know. You're trying to prove to yourself that you know. But until it's like, I know how to ride a bike, but until you sit on the bike and put your feet on the pedals and your hands and ride the bike, and then consider with the bike riding example, the balance is invisible. It's not like a skill that you can really teach balance. Like you can tell your kid, put your foot here, put your hand, that's the brake. And then what do? Us moms, we push our kid and hope they don't fall. But the balance part, that's like the kids gotta like figure that out a little bit. When it comes to your audience, my friends, and the audience right now, social media is not what it was even 5 years ago. It's very much interest-based. What Shanessa's interested in, if it's real estate and financial literacy, that's what she's going to attract by demonstrating through live examples. I just learned this thing. Not, I know this thing. Hey, a few years ago, I saw this thing about velocity banking and I really didn't pay no attention to it, but now where I'm at in my blah, 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 right? It's a story. It's not an expert. It's not a coach. It's not a guru. People fucking hate those right now, guys. Don't believe a word I say, but take a look at social media, right? They're tired of the ads. They're tired of being sold to. They're tired of everyone saying, I know what you should be doing, but there's I know, and then there's proving it to ourselves. So one of the conversations that people come tell me is like, oh, my audience wouldn't XYZ. You don't own your audience. You have no idea. And the audacity that you think you do, that's brave. I don't know if Anelda comes across an opportunity and she shares it with Shanessa, if Shanessa's gonna say yes or no. That would be very ignorant and arrogant for me to be like, don't talk to my best friend, she is going to say no. When for all I know, she's got something and Shanessa's like, oh my gosh, Danny and I were just talking about that. I'd love to take a look. That is someone who thinks they own their audience and needs control. I can't control any one of you, no more than you can control me. I don't know what you'll do, and you don't know what your audience likes. You don't know what they don't like either, because if you take a look, everyone has a highlight reel, not the truth. So consider you don't know anything, and you don't have an audience, and today's post is day 1. And when someone tells you something, anything, shut this off for 2 seconds and ask them a question instead of assuming you know why they said it. Oh, I know why all my friends are broke. I just found out my mom has $7,000 in her mattress. I thought she was broke. Your friends aren't broke. They don't trust you with their money, or they don't trust you with your opportunity, but they're not broke. And if you see your friends broke and you're like, I make more money than all my friends, you're the smartest person in the room. You're in the wrong room. Because everyone has money. Everyone can find the money. And if their situation isn't motivating enough to get out of it, don't make them work. That's one thing I've had to learn. Because I want it so bad for people, but they're just not motivated. They're not, the pain, when I really look at people that did something, we did not have a choice, right? Like, I did not have a choice when I got bananas with social media. And when I look, and no judgment, this is an observation, the people who do something with the opportunity had to. And the other ones didn't. And that's okay. People can go through the course or go through the opportunity. They can be a customer forever, whatever. We don't judge what other people do. We only have responsibility for ourselves. So you don't have to wake your audience up, because remember, you're always talking from one point of view, not the world, right? You're talking to if you got the document yesterday, you're talking to Jessica, and you're solving one problem for Jessica. And then you might share a lesson from your own point of view, but you're solving Jessica's problem. Right? So you're perfect. You're exactly where you need to be. You're exactly where you want to be. And if you think about it from like an artist standpoint, right? Like Tim McGraw, he doesn't know shit about his audience. He creates a song from his heart. His song could be about a breakup, then it could be about a dog, then it could be about money, then it could be about whatever. And the audience decides that they like the song. But the audience is from all walks of life, all income streams, all things. He doesn't own the audience. He appreciates the love and support he gets for being in his zone of genius, which is producing a song. So just decide where your zone of genius is, or is going to be, or wants to be, and then solve one problem for Jessica. What is Jessica like? What is she like? My girl is tired of freaking rent, car payment, bill. Like, it's not who I was 10 years ago. That's not who I am anymore. I'm not that girl. That girl's unrelatable. The one that can't afford butter and Doritos, that girl's very real. She's like, yeah, can't stretch this dollar anymore. What do I do now? So thank you for sharing, Shanessa. All right, guys. Any questions or ahas before we hop off?
I still don't have access to the book, the workbook.
Okay.
So if I could get that.
Yep.
And it's really difficult to, I guess I've been hurt, and it's really difficult for me to be real.
1,000.
On social media, I'm not usually the person that I'm that's posting, if that makes sense.
So what if your post today was this? I'm hurt. I'm hurting. I'm in my feels today. And here's why.
Okay.
I cried all morning after listening to the message from Christian, because I thought, I do not want to be that girl. I do not want to be a professional network marketer and hurt people that can't figure out how to get to the next step. I don't want to be her. I don't want to be seen as her. I don't want to be. It's interesting because when I got started online, I didn't know I was a marketer. I taught myself, I don't know, I had some skills and I figured it out because I had to, right? Again, that desperation was like, this shit has to work. And then I was able to figure some things out. And then during COVID, I was like, oh shit, I got to pivot. And that's when I started getting into courses. And that's when I became a teacher. I don't like her. I don't like Teacher Jen. I don't like Coach Jen. I don't like Guru. I'm good at it. And I'll continue to work privately with some clients. But I don't want to be her on social media. I want to be Jen that has a Starbucks with her daughter and goes to Halloween parties and gets to be Jen. I don't want to be digital marketing Jen. That's why I'm creating separate anonymous channels so I can keep the two separate. And I did that in the beginning. This Jen account was my ghost account that I started and I didn't block my friends and family. I didn't even know we could do that 10 years ago. But this is that new account. And I just feel led to do, I need to pivot again because now my friends and my family are all here. And I do feel like I leave people behind because I have an obsession with this. But that turns other people off because I'm the weirdo with the obsession. I'm still going to go be out there and do a thing and have a voice and bring passion into something, into a project. But it's not going to be from a teacher, coaching, expert point of view. It's going to be from a student point of view. I just don't want to be that person. Emotional support chats for MLMers, Jesus Christ. That's just, it breaks my heart because I was a part of that. I was absolutely a part of that. And I don't want to be the reason someone quits MLM because I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I tell Trish all the time, I don't know what I'm doing. But I've got over 300 customers, so I must know what I'm doing, and I'm telling myself a lie that I'm not good at this. Because I'm taking other people's problems and I'm believing them. They're not mine. They're not even my business. So give yourself permission to be yourself. You want to attract a woman, Lisa, that is she's not here to do side gigs and marketing and she's not here for that. She wants to travel with her husband and have a business that she can support and feel good about and work maybe an hour or two a day. And then from there, you might want a bigger income. So maybe it's 3 hours a day, right? Like that part is interchangeable. It'll depend. Sometimes it depends on seasons. With Punta Cana, I put my head down. And then I got the trip and I was like, I'm done. Because I do that. I go into seasons. I plant a lot of seeds. And then I cultivate the harvest. Then I plant a lot of seeds and I cultivate the harvest. You just have to decide that your needs are not important. God bless you all. Give it to God or whatever your higher power is and show up for someone else who needs you. That's a stranger. You don't know them. The person who needs you, you haven't met. That's why I encourage you guys to stop following each other. Stop commenting on each other. None of you need each other. I mean, high five. Well, first of all, you should be doing it inside the community. That's where we need each other, is in the community. I have less than 1 minute. This thing's going to pop off. But on social media, get away from the marketers. Get out of the lobby. Go sell. Go be away from where everyone else is trying to sell in the same swamp. Okay, I know this is going to pop, so I don't want to do any more. I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you have any questions, call me today. I'm working all day. Like, I'm doing this all day. So if you have any questions. If you're building, Lisa, call me because we're building this week. All right, guys, have a good day.